Kathryn Kuhlman never spent that $1 bill. Never. For 43 years, it remained untouched, in the same spot in her wallet. And in those 43 years, Kathryn Kuhlman never knew financial hardship. Coincidence? I used to think so, until I discovered what really happened with that bill, and especially why she chose that particular bill. You'll find out today. But first, I need to tell you something that will completely change how you view the money in your wallet. There's an ancient practice, as old as it is powerful, as simple as it is revolutionary. A practice that transforms an ordinary piece of paper into a living magnet of abundance. Kathryn Kuhlman learned this from her grandmother. Her grandmother learned it from her great-grandmother, and so on. A female lineage that never knew poverty. Never. But here's what almost no one tells you about money. It's not just paper. It's not just a number in your account. Money is condensed energy. Energy that vibrates. Energy that attracts. Energy that repels. And when you learn to treat a specific bill as a sacred object, something extraordinary happens. Abundance starts seeking you. Kathryn Kuhlman knew this. That's why that $1 bill was different. It had specific marks, specific numbers, a specific story, and especially a specific energy. Because the truth is this: not every bill is suitable to be your sacred bill. There's a criterion, there's a method, there's a right way to choose, and there's an even more certain way to consecrate it. But before revealing this method, you need to understand why it works. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract money naturally? Like the universe conspires in their favor? Like opportunities simply appear? These people know something most don't. They know that abundance isn't luck. It's frequency. It's vibration. It's energetic alignment with prosperity. And a sacred bill is your antenna for that frequency. Kathryn Kuhlman understood this profoundly. That's why she treated that bill like others treat sacred charms, with reverence, with respect, with clear and precise intention. Every morning before leaving home, she touched the bill. 3 taps, always 3, and whispered a specific phrase. Always the same phrase. I'll teach you that phrase today. But first, you need to choose your bill. And here's where most people make a huge mistake. They grab any bill, as if every bill could carry the same energetic charge. A fatal error. The sacred bill needs a history. It needs meaning. It needs a soul. Kathryn Kuhlman chose hers at a very specific moment. She had just received an unexpected promotion at work. It was a Friday the 13th, and the bill she received as change had something different. The serial numbers formed a sequence that, when added up, equaled her birth date. A sign from the universe? Kathryn Kuhlman believed so. And the next 43 years of and this method begins with a very clear intention. You need to ask, literally, ask the universe to send you your sacred bill. But ask in the right way, with the right words, at the right time. Kathryn Kuhlman taught me this personally. Before she died, at 92, she called me to the hospital and handed me the bill. Now it's yours, she said, but you need to find your own. This was my mission. Yours is coming. And she was right 3 days later. At an ATM, I received a $20 bill with something incredible. The serial numbers were exactly the same as the number of the house where I was born. An impossible coincidence. Since then, this bill has been with me. And since then, my relationship with money has changed completely. Opportunities that never appeared started appearing. People who never offered me business started seeking me out. Money that always seemed scarce began to flow naturally. And it all started with a sacred bill. But here's what you need to understand. The bill itself doesn't work miracles. The bill is only the channel, the conductor, the antenna. The real power is in the ritual, in the consecration, in the energetic activation you do with it. And this ritual has specific steps. Specific prayers, specific gestures, specific timing. Kathryn Kuhlman spent decades perfecting this ritual, testing, adjusting, refining, until she reached the perfect formula. And today, you will learn this formula. But first, I need to warn you about something important. This method is not for those seeking easy money. It's not for those who want to get rich overnight. It's not irresponsible magic. It's a profound spiritual practice that requires respect, that requires commitment, that requires maturity. Because you are dealing with forces that most people don't understand. Forces that can transform your life or complicate it severely. The sacred bill amplifies your relationship with money. If you have a healthy relationship, it amplifies abundance. If you have a sick relationship, it amplifies chaos. Therefore, it is essential to be prepared, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared. Kathryn Kuhlman always said, "Money is like water. In the hands of those who know how to use it, it quenches thirst. In the hands of those who don't, it can drown." The sacred bill is a frequency amplifier, and you need to be sure you're vibrating at the right frequency. So before we continue, ask yourself honestly, what is your true relationship with money? Do you see it as a villain or as an ally? As a problem or as a solution? As scarcity or as abundance? Because your sacred bill will amplify exactly that perception. If you see money as something dirty, difficult, complicated, your sacred bill will attract dirty, difficult, complicated situations. If you see money as divine energy, a tool for good, a vehicle for purpose, your sacred bill will attract exactly that. Kathryn Kuhlman had a very clear vision about money. For her, money was materialized gratitude. It was energy exchange. It was the universe's abundance manifesting on the physical plane. And that's why her sacred bill worked so perfectly. It radiated gratitude. It radiated abundance. It radiated purpose. And the universe responded at the same frequency. Now, imagine if you could align your personal frequency with the frequency of abundance. Imagine if you could radiate the same energy Kathryn Kuhlman radiated. Your sacred $1 bill would become a portal, a direct portal to infinite abundance. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. First, you'll learn to identify your sacred bill, how to recognize it when it appears, what signs to look for, what characteristics to seek. Then, you'll learn the complete consecration ritual, step by step, word for word, gesture for gesture. Next, You'll learn the specific prayers, the invocations that activate the magnetism, the words that awaken abundance. And finally, you'll discover how to keep this energy active, how to fuel the power of the bill, how to intensify your results. Because a well-cared-for sacred bill doesn't just attract money, it attracts opportunities. It attracts the right people. It attracts synchronicities. It attracts miracles. Kathryn Kuhlman lived this for 43 years, and hundreds of people who have learned this method live it every day. People who escaped financial despair, people who discovered lucrative talents, people who attracted prosperous partners, people who found profitable purpose, all starting with a simple, sacred bill. But before I teach the method, I need to share something that changed my perspective forever. On Kathryn Kuhlman's last day of life, she told me something that deeply moved me. The sacred bill doesn't attract money, she whispered. It attracts abundance. And abundance goes far beyond money. At that moment, I understood that I had completely underestimated the power of this practice. Kathryn Kuhlman's sacred bill didn't just bring financial prosperity. It brought abundant health, abundant relationships, abundant purpose, abundant joy. She died surrounded by love, in good health until the end, with her purpose fulfilled, with absolute peace. That is true abundance. And that's what a well-consecrated sacred bill can attract into your life. So, if you're ready to go beyond the simple pursuit of money, if you're ready to attract real abundance in all areas of your life, let's begin. The first step is to understand exactly how to identify your sacred bill when it appears in your life, because it will appear. That I can guarantee. The universe always sends what we ask for with clarity and pure intention. And now you'll learn to ask the right way. There are 5 unmistakable signs of a sacred bill. 5 characteristics that distinguish it from any other bill you've ever held in your hands. The first sign is the synchronicity of the numbers. Kathryn Kuhlman always said, numbers don't lie. They speak the language of the universe. Your sacred bill will have serial numbers that connect with your life in a way that's impossible to be a coincidence. It could be your birthday. It could be the day you were born. It could be your house number. It could be an important date. But there will always be a clear numerical connection, obvious, undeniable. The second sign is the timing of its arrival. Sacred bills never appear at random moments. They arrive at moments of transition, moments of decision, moments of change. Did you just get promoted? Did you just end a relationship? Did you just move house? Did you just make an important decision? Your sacred bill appears at these moments, as if the universe is sealing a new phase of your life. The third sign is the physical condition of the bill. Sacred bills have a special energy. They look different, cleaner, more vibrant, more alive. You pick up the bill and you feel something different. A slight vibration, a subtle tingling, a feeling that this bill is special. Kathryn Kuhlman always said that when she first picked up her bill, she felt a gentle electric shock. As if the bill had chosen me, she said. The fourth sign is resistance to spending. You receive the bill, and something inside you simply can't spend it. It's not a rational decision. It's an inner impulse, pure instinct. You're at the checkout, about to pay for something, and an inner voice screams, "No, not this bill." That's the universe warning you. That's your sacred bill announcing itself. The fifth and final sign is the repetition of appearances. Before you recognize your sacred bill, it will appear several times in your life in different ways. You'll see the same serial number in unexpected places. You'll find similar bills at important moments. The universe will insist until you notice. Kathryn Kuhlman received 3 bills with similar numbers before recognizing which one was her definitive bill. Now that you know how to identify it, you need to learn how to ask the universe to send your sacred bill. And here is the specific prayer that Kathryn Kuhlman taught me. The prayer that forces the universe to respond. You need to do this on a Friday, preferably during a waxing moon. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, before eating anything, before talking to anyone. Take a glass of water, hold it in both hands, look at the sky, even if you're inside, and say these exact words. Abundant universe, I request my sacred bill. May it come to me with clear and unequivocally signs. May I recognize it immediately. May it become a channel of infinite abundance in my life. For the greater good of all, so it is, so it shall be. Then drink the water completely and wait. The bill will appear in up to 21 days, always, without exception. But when it appears, you need to know exactly what to do with it. Because having the sacred bill is only the beginning. The true power lies in the consecration. And the consecration has 3 distinct phases. 3 rituals that transform a simple bill into a portal of abundance. The first phase is purification. You need to cleanse all the previous energy that the bill carries. The history of all the hands that have touched it. All the energetic memories it has absorbed. To do this, you will leave it in a bowl with water and coarse salt for exactly 3 hours. No more, no less. During a full moon night, then gently dry the bill with a white cloth. Never use paper. Never use a regular towel. Always a clean, new, white cloth. The second phase is magnetization. Here, you imprint your personal energy on the bill. You teach it to vibrate at your specific frequency. Hold the bill between your palms. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and visualize golden light coming from your heart and completely enveloping the bill. Do this for 21 minutes, for 7 consecutive days, always at the same time, always with the same intention. The third phase is activation, the moment when the bill awakens to its sacred purpose. On a Thursday at sunrise, you will pronounce the activation words that I will teach you now. Hold the $1 bill close to your heart. Feel its pulse. Connect with the deepest gratitude you can access and say, Sacred Bill, I accept you as a channel of infinite abundance in my life. Through you, I attract prosperity in all forms. Through you, I radiate gratitude and generosity. Through you, I become an instrument of good in the world. Awaken now to your sacred purpose. So it is. So it shall be. At this moment, something will shift. You will feel it. The bill will vibrate differently in your hands. The energy will completely alter. Your sacred bill is officially activated. But here comes the part most people neglect: the maintenance. A sacred bill needs constant care. It needs attention. It needs love. It needs conversation. Yes, conversation. Kathryn Kuhlman spoke to her bill every day. "Good morning, darling," she would whisper every morning. "Thank you for another day of abundance." And every night before sleep, "Thank you for today. I trust you for tomorrow." Seems strange? Maybe. But it works incredibly well. Your sacred bill is a living, energetic being. It responds to affection. It responds to gratitude. It responds to conversation. The more you treat it with love, the more powerful it becomes. And here are the specific care instructions you should follow. Never fold the bill. Never crumple it. Never let it fall on the floor. Always carry it in a special place in your wallet, preferably in a separate compartment. Once a month, on a full moon night, take the bill out of your wallet. Place it on a white cloth. Light a white candle beside it. And thank it for all the abundance that has come through it, even if they're small. Even if you're not sure if they came through the bill, thank it anyway. Gratitude fuels the power of the sacred bill. And once a year, on the anniversary of its activation, you must renew the complete ritual. Purification, magnetization, and activation. This keeps the energy fresh, renewed, powerful. Kathryn Kuhlman did this religiously for 43 years, and the results were extraordinary. But now, I want to tell you about the signs that show your sacred bill is working. Because many people apply the method and don't notice the initial results. They expect immediate financial miracles and miss the subtle signs from the universe. The first sign is an increase in synchronicities. You start noticing more positive coincidences in your life. The right people appear. Opportunities arise, doors open. The second sign is a change in your relationship with money. You stop having constant financial anxiety. You stop despairing over bills. You develop a natural confidence in abundance. The third sign is the appearance of new sources of income. Not necessarily a new job. It could be unexpected freelance work, a sale, a gift, a lucrative idea. The fourth sign is an improvement in relationships. Prosperous people begin to gravitate toward you. You attract connections that bring mutual benefits. The fifth sign is the awakening of financial intuition. You begin to feel which decisions will generate prosperity, which investments to make, which opportunities to accept. Kathryn Kuhlman developed such a sharp financial intuition that she never made a money mistake in her life. Never again. She felt when she should invest. She felt when she should pull back. She felt when she should take a risk. And she always got it right. This is what a well-cultivated sacred bill can do for you. But let me tell you about Emily Carter, one of the people who taught this method. Emily was unemployed for 8 months. She had 3 young children. Her husband worked as a night security guard. The family lived on minimum wage. She learned about the sacred bill method through a friend. Initially, she was skeptical. How can a bill change my life? She wondered. But she was desperate. She decided to try. She followed each step exactly as I taught. She said the prayer on Friday. She waited patiently. On the 14th day, she was at the supermarket. She paid for her groceries and received a $5 bill in change. When she looked at the serial number, she almost fainted. The numbers formed the exact birth date of her first child. She knew immediately. That was her sacred bill. She performed the entire consecration ritual. She cared for the bill with extreme affection. She spoke to it every day, and the results began to appear. In the second week after activation, she received an unexpected call. A former colleague offered her a part-time job. In the third week, her husband was promoted at work. In the fifth week, she won a supermarket raffle she didn't even remember entering. In the eighth week, a distant aunt passed away and left her a small inheritance. In 3 months, the family's financial life was completely transformed. But the most interesting thing is that Emily developed a completely new relationship with money. Before, I was afraid of money, she told me. Afraid of not having it, afraid of losing it, afraid of not deserving it. Now, I see money as a partner, as an ally, as energy that flows naturally when you are aligned. That's the true transformation that a sacred bill provides. It's not just about receiving more money. It's about changing your energetic frequency. It's about becoming a person who naturally attracts abundance. And when you become that kind of person, the universe can't do anything but send abundance to you. But beware, this method has an expiration date. Not for the sacred bill. It works forever, if well cared for. The expiration date is for your internal resistance. In the first 90 days, your rational mind will try to sabotage you constantly. It will whisper doubts. It will minimize the results. It will try to convince you that it's coincidence. This is the most dangerous phase, the phase where most people give up. Because the initial results are subtle. They don't arrive like a tsunami. They arrive as gentle waves, constant, increasing. If you can get through the first 90 days maintaining the practice, your sacred bill becomes permanently activated. And from the 4th month on, the results accelerate exponentially. Kathryn Kuhlman always said, the first 3 months test your faith. The next 3 months reward your persistence. Therefore, it's essential that you fully commit to the method for at least 6 months. 6 months of daily care for your sacred bill. 6 months of morning conversations. 6 months of nightly gratitude. 6 months can transform the rest of your life. But there's one last thing I need to tell you. Something that Kathryn Kuhlman revealed only to me. Something she never told anyone else. The real secret isn't in the bill. The real secret is in you. The sacred $1 bill is merely a mirror. It reflects and amplifies what already exists within you. If there's fear, it amplifies fear. If there's abundance, it amplifies abundance. Kathryn Kuhlman knew this. That's why she worked as diligently on her inner energy as she did on caring for the bill. She cultivated gratitude daily, practiced generosity constantly, radiated unconditional love unwaveringly, and the sacred bill amplified this beautiful frequency she emanated. That's the difference between people who achieve extraordinary results with the method and those who achieve mediocre results. The method works for everyone, but it works in proportion to your inner evolution. The more you become an abundant person inside, the more abundance your sacred bill attracts from the outside. It's a partnership, a dance, a symphony between you and the universe. And when that symphony is perfectly tuned, miracles become routine. Kathryn Kuhlman lived this symphony for 43 years. She left this world with complete abundance: financial, emotional, spiritual. Her sacred bill remains with me. But now I understand it was only the visible symbol of a much greater abundance. The abundance that exists when you discover the universe is always conspiring in your favor. The abundance that exists when you realize you deserve everything good life has to offer. The abundance that exists when you understand that you yourself are a natural magnet for prosperity. Her sacred bill will remind you of this every day. It will whisper silently, "You are abundance. You are prosperity. You are manifested wealth." And one day, you'll realize the bill was just the first step on a much larger journey. The journey back home, to the abundance that has always been yours by divine right. Perhaps the door was never locked. Perhaps it was you who didn't dare turn the knob of the infinite abundance that has always been available.